caught me again. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't come down your chimney, though. Be happy. When the guy comes down the chimney and put the beard, yeah, watch out for him. But, okay, title of the video is Forrest Fenn thanks the Green Jollies for a wonderful life. Nobody's joined in yet. 32 seconds. Boy. Usually I have a few people watching them within the first minute. People eating dinner. It's today is the winter solstice. And one thing of winter solstice is the story of the sun going down below at the slowest point on the western horizon, the eastern horizon when it rises. And it stays there for 3 days. And Forrest Fenn was shot down December 20th, 1968. And in about 26 minutes is what time it was when he hit the eject button 50 years ago. So about this time, he was in the air heading for his targets. I don't know if he had other targets to hit too, but yeah, he was heading for his targets 50 years ago right now. Not actually right now, because you know, that's Vietnam time. It was 5 p.m., 12 hours ago there. So, but at 5:55 p.m., December 20th, 1968, Forrest Fenn hit the eject button. And that's in 25 minutes. 5:55. Why 3 5s? And I say on there, the title about, Forrest Fenn thanks the Green Giants. They're the guys who Jolly Green Giants were the guys that flew the Jolly and rescued him from when he was shot down. But that'll be, I think it was 2 days. I think he spent 2 nights in the jungle. Corners thing. Yeah, because he was back. Because he was rescued, and 2 days later he was home for Christmas Eve. But people don't realize it's the 50th anniversary. It's an anniversary. It's a kind of a the Omega. It's a lap around the sun, another lap around the sun. How you doing, Bill? Hey, Paul. It's been let's see, what time is it? 5:32. In 23 minutes, it'll be exactly 50 years that Forrest Fenn hit that eject button. Boom. And if he didn't hit the eject button, or I mean, if he wasn't rescued from that jungle 50 years ago, then there would be no treasure hunt. There'd be no gypsy battles and stuff like that. That wouldn't be going on. That would have never happened. There'd been no thrill of the chase. Randy Billiou, maybe you got eaten by a shark off the Tampa instead or something. I don't know. But because, you ever see that movie, The Time Machine? His girlfriend got run over by a carriage and killed. and he made the time machine to try and go back and save her from getting run over. But she met some other fate. No matter what he did, you couldn't change the fate of somebody. And that's where I posted some stuff yesterday about there was a word, but it's Greek and all that. And I found I was looking up the world's biggest statue, right? World's largest statue. There's this eagle in India, and it's an eagle with one wing, a one-wing eagle laying on its back with its feet up in the air, because the eagle was, what was it, Osiris, or something. It was the same story as Osiris that Forrest Fenn talks about. Seth and they found everything except Osiris's phallus, but it's the Hindu story of the same story, same place. That's why these things are the same stories related everywhere. And Vishnu and Thoth are the same guy. Thoth is actually Osiris. And he came back again. It's Jesus. Thoth is the one that keeps coming back every couple thousand years. You got the sand there. Yep. Ho ho ho. So it's a cool picture too. Yep. So I tried to get the other vloggers to say, hey, think of Forrest Fenn and the movie It's a Wonderful Life, and so saying, like James Stewart in that movie, if the Grim Reaper showed him, what people would be doing if it wasn't for him, like what you'd be doing differently, or how the town would have changed without that person's influence on the town, and all that. And look, think about how the other vloggers look about your life without the influence of Forrest Fenn. What would you be? What would you be doing? What would your dreams be without his influence? His influence, I mean, without his influence, I wouldn't have found Atlantis here. And that's one of the things he wanted to see if there was another Indiana Jones out there like him, and so far I don't know anybody else that can. I don't know. I wear a size 12, Forrest. I can fit in an 11 and a half, but I wear a 12 because my neuropathy. I like it a little bit loose, my feet. But what would your life be without Forrest? It was just in like 19 minutes or 18 minutes. 18 minutes is when he hit the ejection seat 50 years ago and landed in that field. So the thumbnail was some orchids, because he landed. He said it was orchids all the way to the top of the tree, and I think those orchids are somewhat of a clue, but you're not looking for orchids. You're not looking for dandelions either, They're substitutes. You're looking for a substitute for an orchid. What's a substitute for an orchid? Oh, dandelion's a good one. What's another one? Okay. You get it? Yeah. No, they don't get it. They don't get it. See, because I'll give hints to things that I know are tied in. I think the other treasure hunts, but publicize this one. People forget exactly what's out there. ISIS, yeah, and I got some other. I was just playing. I've been going when I got enough electricity to hook up my backup drive, I've been because I got 40,000 pictures and I can't fit them on my computer, so I got them on my backup drive. But I'm going through them and I'm taking the best ones and putting them into a thing, and I'm going to make a slideshow of my mammoth temples. Just for fun, I'll show you a picture here that I just processed. Let's see. Recent. Ooh. I know where to get. So I don't have my backup drive because my power went off, so I turned. Well, to keep the drive from going on and off and on and off with the power, I just unplug it from the computer. And but I know where I put it. There. I'll show you this picture. This is cool. Yeah, I'll move my cursor off of it. Yeah. You see the ear, you see the Noah guy, Moses guy standing in there. That's a mammoth, and there's people inside. Boom, boom. There's a big head right there. That's a big head. See the people in there? These are the people from Atlantis. This is what Forrest Fenn was all about, finding that Indiana Jones guy. You know? Who's going to be the Indiana Jones? This is impressive stuff. And this is like finding King Tut. No, this is better than this is finding the whole civilization, the civilization. This. It's good stuff. That's because Forrest Fenn that I've come across this stuff. He turned me into that Indiana Jones guy he wanted to find. And y'all don't get it yet. You don't get it yet. It's 50 years since he's been shot down, since he ejected in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's coming up on when he scrapbook. I haven't seen scrapbook. Must have read anything. Well, look at, he's got scrapbooks on the one on Osiris, and the one on Thoth. I found Thoth and Osiris. Well, it's not Osiris. It's the guy before Osiris, or Enki. They're all the same. Osiris is Thoth. They're the same guy too, 50 years. 1755. Yep, that's coming up in 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, it'll be 50 years. But like I was saying, if you went by time zone, it would have been about 12 hours ago or so. Because you'd want to go by what time it was down there in Laos where he got shot down. I hate to mess with it, but I have to catch up. Okay, we'll see, Bill. Oh, we're going to Hawaii? Yeah, cool. What's up? Good day. Yeah. So, yeah, I brought up a week ago that this date was coming up, and put out the other vloggers, hey, put out something about how your life would be different if, Forrest wasn't rescued by the green Jollies, the Jolly Green Giants. They're I just watched. There's a video. I just watched part of it. I interrupted in the middle. A downed F-105 pilot, but it's a video showing how they. Well, you know what?
Predicted the road that has blasted craters in them.
Yeah, it's a military.
They fly in pairs, a high bird
Thing,
and a low bird
training.
to a forward base. They have to be in reach of trouble when trouble comes. But the Jolly Greens aren't alone in this mission. There's a team behind them, above them, around them. There's KID, Air Control for All Search and Rescue, or SAR as they call it. They fly in the area where the strike missions are scheduled. They're a combination watchdog and mother hen. They look and listen for a pilot in trouble. They bring in help when it's needed. They locate the trouble spot, guide and coordinate the recovery team. That's what it's all about, getting a downed pilot out of the jungle before the enemy gets to him. At another base, the Sandies, the slow movers, wait for the call that will bring them into action, to fly protective cover for the Jolly Greens, to clear the pickup area of enemy ground fire. Behind this airborne team are the ground control centers, Jack and Queen, strategically located so one of them will always be in contact with the action. Back at the command post, the Prime Rescue Control and Reporting Center. Here, all the details of every SAR effort are received and recorded as they occur. Command decisions are made, orders set out to put all available man and equipment to the best possible use. When a man goes down, everything comes to a stop until they get him out.
We got shot at on every mission. They say it's the ones you don't see that get you, and it did me. There was a lot of firing, but it really didn't bother me. You get so wrapped up in what you're doing, plus you believe so much in what you're doing. Sure, you're busy. You're busy too.
Yeah, Forrest, spiritual people aren't faithless.
You know what it can do to you, but it just doesn't bother you. It just makes you want to hit your target that much more.
Waiting is the hardest part of all. Sometimes the waiting lasts for days, but no one minds. It means our pilots are getting through, coming back. Then there's always that one time, the reason for their being here.
I never actually saw where they were firing from. I could never pinpoint their position, but I went in and made one drop where I figured they were, and then my number 4 man went in. As I pulled off, I was in a position to observe his roll in, so I rolled in behind him to cover him down the chute. He made his drop, and then I hosed off a few rounds of 20 millimeter to keep the enemy heads down as he pulled off. Then as I was pulling off, I didn't see or feel anything. And I was on the radio telling the guys to rejoin so we could go back to our post-strike tanker and get some gas so we could go home. When all of a sudden, the nose of the airplane just started weaving around real funny-like, and I thought, this can't be happening to me. But it was.
That's when things begin to happen.
Get it out of burner now. Get it out of burner. Out of burner. Sure, there's a tiger. Do you have him in sight? Roger, I've got him in sight. Okay, babe, we got it.
Call sign, position. Is the disabled aircraft still in the air? Basic information to get the mission started.
Roger 7-1. So you give us vectors for channel 7 to start off with. We get vectors for 7-1. Big channel 7 that time. Roger. Hold it down, lead us, hold it down.
The position is plotted.
Let's make sure we won't get it out.
King leads to go where the action is.
Roger, we're rolling out 218 this time. Now 218 is a good heading, blank, 37 miles. 37 miles, heading to 218. had the nose above the horizon, so I locked in the slab and lit the afterburner, and she started climbing. I leveled off around 10,000, and everything seemed reasonably stable, so I nosed her around towards the border in friendly territory. Everything was fine for a while, but then I noticed she was slowing down, rapidly approaching a stall speed. I had to get more speed out of her, so I reached down and punched off all the external stores, the empty wing tanks and things like that. And I don't know what happened, but when that stuff left, the nose just flopped right on over, and she started down. After she stabilized out, I reached down and shook the stick one more time in a last-ditch effort, but nothing happened, so I figured I must have been hitting the hydraulic system and lost all my fluid. Anyway, while she was going down, the guys above me were screaming, get out, so I guess it must have looked pretty bad. I know it sure felt bad inside that cockpit, but I couldn't have gotten out then if I wanted to. When she did nose over, I took a lot of negative G and found myself floating up against the canopy, so even if I could have initiated the ejection sequence, all I would have done is compress my spine and killed myself right then. So I had to stick with her. But once she did stabilize out, I tried to slow her down by getting everything out that I could, dropping the gear, putting out the speed brakes, anything. And once I did that, I reached down and hit the handles and squeezed the triggers, and after that, the sequence was standard. I heard the big rush of wind as the canopy separated, and then I felt a kick in the bottom, and up I went.
Okay, how close to the deer? It's at least 20 miles from the border. Okay.
When I went out, I felt some flailing, and when I saw that open chute, I was really happy.
All right, I'll pause that. So yeah, it's getting close. Another 6 minutes would be that moment that he ejected. Had to let the dog in, you know, and he'll want back out. I guarantee within 5 minutes. He come in to get some water and go back out there and bark at a rabbit. But, yeah, so they're showing a guy in a parachute. But, yeah, Forrest, he come down and, well, I was going to go over that after the, you know, kind of review his story a little bit. But 50 years ago right now, he was, you know, starting to engage in this bombing run here, you know, and coming in and he come by and he was 200 feet away from the gun. He's coming down through the canyon and these guys put some bullets in his plane, in his fuel tanks. He could see the bullets in the fuel tank. I don't think he could see the one he said was in the nose. He only said that because that Model A cow, that Buffalo Cowboys car, has that hole in the nose. I don't know if he got one in the nose. Could have, but he couldn't have seen it unless it was something in, you know, he saw a hole in the floor up there, you know. He could have seen one by his feet or something, because he did get some through the glass that the glass, you know, come and cut him in the face. So he come zipping by. Oh. You know, he come flying by that gun. Oop, the other hand, here, come flying by that gun. He took some in the nose and windshield, and he got his fuel tank. These are his fuel tanks, you know. So he's losing fuel just like that other guy was doing, you know. But he come back around. A little acrobatics on the way, no. But you know, he knew he was shot. He was hit, and he come back around, and he laid in some fire on those guys that shot at him, and his wingman seen, you know, he told him, it's right there, let him up. The guy knew where to come in, and he probably laid a bomb in on him, dropped some napalm on them. So, you know, he probably had a few minutes. So he's at this time, 50 years ago, he was he was probably already shot and coming by and laying in them extra rounds right about now, and just getting away from there as far as he could, preparing to eject, because he's watching his fuel gauge dropping down, and he's trying to get some altitude, because you don't want to eject too close to the ground, but you don't want to fall too far so they see you too much, So you want to get a little altitude. And you wanted to get away from there a little bit, and so he's still flying, because I'm trying to wait for the clock. The clock, he's going, holy shit, but I'm bleeding, and he's looking back, and he's preparing, getting all of his checks. I think he had crossed his legs or something, or I don't know. Yeah, pull your legs, everything in tight, and I guess there's two handles or something that you pull on. And so right now, 50 years ago, he's thinking, you got check. Oh, should check your chin strap, Forrest. So did he check his chin strap? We don't know. What is this? Where's the clock? I don't have a second hand. Okay. So 50 years ago, then he's all ready, and he boom, and the explosive bolts, boom, little pack pushes him up a little bit, and then the rockets on it fire and shoot him 150 feet higher up, and he, Rocket Man, we call Forrest Rocket Man. He's done it. He rode the rocket chair twice, and and he goes up, and he's hoping to get on top of this cliff, and he's going, oh shit, God damn it, mother, and he's going up against the oh, son of a bitch, he's kicking at the cliff, oh shit, trees, oh, and boom, she's going through the trees and bouncing off the cliff, and he's finally comes to us, boom, and he goes, did I die? Am I in heaven? What the hell? It looks up, and there's orchids all around him and stuff, and he looks down, and there's the ground, just couple feet away from his feet. He's cut loose and dropped down to the ground, and I think he'd have trouble recovering the parachute. Real dense jungle, probably wouldn't be seen. Those parachutes were, well, according to the one in the video, he's got red and white. No, you want a green parachute. You don't want the enemy to find you. You want your people to find you, but you don't want the enemy to find you. And so, so he's down there in the forest, seeing stars or orchids. Yeah, orchids are stars. They're like the stars in his drawings too. Think of it that way, yeah. So, yeah, he's now 50 years ago. Right now, he's probably dangling from his parachute and figuring out how he's going to cut himself and drop to the ground there, looking down at, okay. and then he's probably worried about, being followed or found by the Viet Cong. That's the other thing. While he's drowning, fucking Charlie, or when he's coming in to light up the ZPU guys, when he was lighting them up to show his buddy where they were. He's probably going, you take this, you man, fucking Charlie. Yeah, they call him Charlie. Appropriate. I knew one Charlie's an asshole. 50 years ago, I was 5. Yeah, I was 10. I was 10 when he was shot down. Coming up on 11. I was had a so yeah, I was in 5th grade, and I had a pretty good 5th grade. Well, it was 4th grade teacher was a good teacher. 5th grade, I don't remember that teacher much. But I had a good 4th grade teacher. But so he's laying on the out there in the jungle trying to find a way. Try. Well, what do I got to do now? Yeah, I've been here before. Not right here, but I've been. He had experience from being shot down before, and he was. If you ever been stranded, so like out in the middle of some desert somewhere and run out of gas, or like he was when his brother dropped him on the side of the road, and you basically you kind of go, oh, what the fuck? I got all this time, but I got a lot of time to think now. What the fuck am I gonna do now? And like he had no shoes on the side of the road. It was too far to walk anywhere. If it was summer, it was probably hot. A lot of mosquitoes up in Wyoming, but I'm sure there's a lot of insects down there in Vietnam, and Laos. So, wow. So he's shot down. Now he's got I think 2 nights before he gets rescued, and so I think that first night I don't think he even got on the radio, or he didn't want to let them know where he was, or he was deciding if he was gonna, well, am I gonna get rescued or am I gonna walk out of here? And he called for help, I guess, the next day. I can, just start flapping my wings and fly to the coast. It's a night. You think you can do it, but then when you go to do it, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot harder and stuff than you ever imagined. So the easy way out was to call for help, as he figured that they had stopped looking for him. Maybe, Probably a good approach for the military when someone gets shot down would be to make a fake rescue. Hey, Steve. Oh, Holly, in 50 years, I was 10. So I was born too late in 58. He said he was born too late. That's why I say, no, that's my saying. Born too late in 58. It was created at the same time as NASA. The astronomical things were happening. So the other thing, after he bailed out, he had to take the 3 pictures. He took a picture between his feet. But he had to take a picture. He took a picture of his plane or something. And the plane crashing, and his plane, he said, after he ejected, the plane went on, and there was a 1,000-foot cliff, and his plane went and exploded into the middle of the 1,000-foot cliff. That's a blaze halfway up the cliff. There's a blaze halfway up the cliff. That's Moses. Moses is the blaze halfway up the cliff. up the side of the hill or cliff, you know. So that's another clue there. That blaze is halfway up the side of the karst. Said his gun was missing. He embellishes, doesn't he? I think he probably had to pull it out on that guy that was there a couple months ago. That'd be a nice thing, to consolation prize at least, you know. That gun that he lost. And the reason he has a Thoth, the reason he had to get something like that, something from Egypt, an actual artifact out of a tomb, that you know, it cost a lot of money, I'm sure, and there was a reason he had to have it. I have to have that because I found Thoth in Colorado and Anubis, and so he had to have himself a copy of them. He has Thoth and Osiris. Osiris is said to be Thoth reincarnated and stuff. So if you don't know anything about that, you know, there's and somebody asked if he was if he had faith or what. Well, you know, when someone says they're spiritual and not religious, religion is a gang mentality. Spiritual is a wizard mentality. I'm enlightened. I don't need to go to a church to be enlightened by people that claim to be enlightened and aren't really all that enlightened. What did the Pharaoh say? We keep building temples until they realize that the temple is within them. And people can't see my stuff. In the book of Thoth, he says, only those who possess the light will see it. Those who don't possess the light can't see it and aren't worthy of seeing. There's a reason they can't see it. Yeah, faith. Yeah. People are spiritual people means I believe in God, just not the same way you do. You know, that's not the same way. Spiritual means I don't belong to your religions. You know, and just because someone says they're spiritual doesn't mean they're not educated on your religion. That they don't know that your religion's about and all that. Oh, well, I've looked at that, and you know, there's some stuff that's, you know, not about good information, you know, good stories to live by and stuff, and you know, but some of it just goes over the line for me, you know. That's it's like no, and I know that like, yeah, Father, find out that Jesuits are a bunch of child traffickers and child molesters, and you know, you don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff. But all these artifacts I'm finding are the bananas. And he says, grab all the bananas. You want to grab all the artifacts. He said when he got shot down in his plane that he took 3 pictures. Had to get the 3 pictures. And is that a clue that I got to get pictures of 3 things? I got to photograph 3 things. So like Thoth, the elephants, Moses, Anubis, Enki. I got I even got ISIS, and I got a whole lot more. So those are bananas. Those are all the bananas. He who collects the most bananas, right? You win. The person who goes all out Indiana Jones wins. And so, and the other thing, once the treasure hunt is over, people will stop emailing him and he can rest. I was going to go up there today, but I figured tomorrow's just as good a day. That's a day he spent in the jungle all alone, waiting for him, figure out how he's going to get rescued. And there, got magic stones. Yes. Yeah, this one seems to have things on it. It's like an elephant head. And this could have been an arrowhead. I don't know, the tip's broken off and it's sharp on the edge, but it's just a shard off of something else. This one here, see? This is a cool rock because see, it's got a magnet on it. And this rock, you can stick that magnet anywhere on that rock. So that one, I don't know if that's a meteorite or what, There's metal, the magnet doesn't stick to it like it does a strip of steel, but it sticks to it lightly. Oops, spark. Who knows? Glad to see the 5 points too. Yeah, I think my nice arrowheads are in my portfolio case thing that I got my posters in. Then it put them up on eBay maybe. Is what I got on Zazzle. People don't go there and buy things. Zazzle's a little overpriced. But I can get things, it's the artist does better to just buy prints and sell them than to have some place supposedly marketing your stuff who isn't marketing it. And that's the other thing, I paid this magazine some money to be in their first issue of their magazine. And I ain't seen their first issue of their magazine, and they're begging for money from. It's like it just took my money and didn't do jack, nothing. So yeah, it kind of ticks you off. I've been invited. I can put my art in a gallery up in Denver on Santa Fe, on the Santa Fe Art Walk. I think Forrest Fenn, about this time 50 years ago, he was, where's that pepper? He's got pepper. I hear dogs. He's spreading the pepper around. I spilled some on the floor, and my dog hasn't noticed it. I had to refill my pepper shaker. It was out of pepper. But I just wanted to do a quick video about the Forrest Fenn being shot down. I'm not a film producer or a director or anything that I didn't have a script, so I'm better probably on edited video, because otherwise I'll just go off on some other thing to talk about. Um, as you see, I don't know. Well, on the light in there, it's like different. But this is kind of their shapes. Some of them, you wonder, was that a piece of jewelry? Because it could have been a stone on something, you know. Because it looks, you can't see the contours on this on the phone camera, or you know. But interesting. Some crystals, especially, seem to have life in them, or something. They seem to, or it's the ability to read like crystal balls. You know, a lot of people. Oh, it's a crystal ball. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. No, it. But some people can see it. Some can't, and it might be that you don't necessarily have. It doesn't have to be a clear crystal ball. Just any crystal, and you can see the stories in them. That you know, they say the earth is alive and has a vibration, even thought and stuff. There are different layers, you know, that it was very hard for his out of body experience to leave the earth because there was so much imprisoning him here, basically, tying his spirit to the earth because he's a part of the earth. We're each a part of the earth. The earth has its own spirit, you know, and so maybe to leave the earth, you have to leave with the earth has to go with you. Oh, that's a deep thought. So, yeah, 50 years ago, but you wouldn't be watching me even if Forrest wasn't pulled out of that forest. Some might be that are more interested in the archaeology stuff, and I can show you a little. Oh, where's it? There it is. I can give you a little slideshow of what I've got. Put in this folder of. Let me see. Can we? Oh, ceiling. I told it to. Boom. Some stuff's easier to see than other stuff. See this guy with the knee up here? That's cool. Big mammoth on the bottom. No, it's finding that priceless art piece. Look at the people on the shelves and all, and there's like 3 levels of people there. See the big head here? Yeah. that? See that dark Indian there, and then all these people on the bottom. It's a big head, 2 heads. That's cool. There's the peace sign. Go in peace. It's here. The shoes outlined dark. These are some of the remnants of the people we call the Atlanteans. Internet. Oh, that's turned sideways. There's the 3 women with the hoods. The guy up on the cliff. People in red. There's a Clovis Queen, I call her. Statues. Yeah, we're going to start growing antennae. Yeah. That's cool stuff. Been on that one. Look at that face right in the middle there. See that sculpted, those faces. Hey, is that him? That's pretty clear to see. There's a, see her? Yeah, I do. There's another. Look at her wearing black. See the big tall guy there and somebody on his lap. Hard not to see that skull on the right side there. And there's the mammoth laying on its back with his feet up. Oh, sideways. These are, you're not going to find a treasure without finding symbols that say this is where the treasure is. You know, there's symbols for everything. Jeez. Oh. Oh. That's like the one in the forest, isn't it? The same face I got a picture of in a forest. And that's a winter solstice thing. I'm going to go by there tomorrow and see where the sun is from that point. It is up on the side of the hill. They're partners. It's this, see, this both sides. Yeah. Those are the other two pictures. There's one of the walls. In the halls of Amente. And the sunset over the winter solstice mount. You see the blocks over here. And a lot of these blocks in the walls were put there. That's from the top of the mammoth, standing mammoth, maybe I call them. That's a man-made construction. See, there's another angle of it. Those are all blocks put there and then covered with stucco cement. You see the person leaning here with their arm and everything. There's just figures everywhere. See? They're palaces or temples or whatever. It's remnants of an Ice Age culture. There you see blocks. That's a block and mortar. See the face in the middle profile. See the figures in there. His hand in front of his mouth. This guy here in the middle, easy. There's those blocks. They would construct these shapes and figures. This is an example of one, you know, where the blocks, before they put the stucco or concrete on top of it. You see them all in there. You see? Human figures. Yeah, we his generation. There, yeah. That's the standing mammoth. Look at that. See that face in the lower right. Hey, wee. Look at that. See, it's like a mother, like a nest or something. Great. Look at the people in the cracks. Look at that face there in the bottom. And there's another face climbing over the top of him. There's the gypsies. See them up there? There's the two kids. Can find the treasure. Kids can find it. Yep. Look at that big head. It's like a pharaoh. But you see there's sculptures in there. There's the gypsies again. That's the gypsies. This is... That's big. Yeah, that artwork in there. It's just 14,000 years of done a toll on it, but I would have loved to have seen it 14,000 years ago. Look at that big face. Yeah, this is the birthplace of civilization. All them ancient gods in Egypt and all came from here. These ones here are twice as old as the ones in Egypt. It's a birth by rewriting history. That's what's so big about Forrest Fenn's treasure. It's going to rewrite history. There's the teacher and Forrest sleeping on the desk. You think a modern man could live there today? Yeah, if you found one of the passages to the underworld there. I'm looking for it still. See that sculpture? Not, you know, people look at the colors and they're not looking at the shape of the rocks. There's 3 people in that opening there. See the face on the edge of it? This is so shelter would be a great concern, not food. Well, in the winter, shelter would. Food is yeah, you can pull fish out of the river, or shoot an elk or a deer, or a rabbit, or there's plenty of wildlife, and there's some wild things you can eat. Oh yeah, see her? That guy coming down, sliding down this thing here. See his legs and everything. Wonder if there's a setting for a slideshow so they say 5 seconds instead of 3. See that? Wow. Look at this. This is a face looking up. That's his eye. He's looking up. See them up there? There, and there's stuff up here. This guy laying in there. This is this couple there. Look at that face. That's fun. That's cool. There's a little guy over here too, you know, on the right. Yeah, somebody laying there in the middle, in the face right above him. This is a cool area. You see that guy with he had like a drum or something. There's a big god, or is it elephant? It's mammoth, another mammoth. Faces in there. See that face? He's looking at you, Paul. That's the same one that was up high on the wall. Figures in there. You can see she had boobies and everything. See, there's the 3 Stooges. There's with the big nose. I haven't figured out what's there, but there's something there. See the guy sprawled out and his legs coming over the side and he's just laying there. This stuff's cool. That's a scree pile. And look at the heads in there. Look at the bodies and heads. And this is somebody's tomb. See, there's Enki. That's him there. And the women in the hoods. Adam and Eve. There's Isis. See, these line up at winter solstice in two peaks. All right, I'm back. Ow. Actually, my arm got tired of holding the phone. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. He was here in Bill's room a few minutes before. Who was? Forrest. Yeah. Who was? Paul was, yeah. Forrest said he wanted to get people back out in the mountains. Is this who he was talking about? Yeah. Have to start Zoom. Sean and I talked about we would have to start Zoom again, and that's $50 a month. Paul and I saw him live the other night. Another way is just do a conversation on Skype and record it with video software. Record the conversation and then play it. Yeah. Both shoulders I need surgery on both. Both my shoulders are screwed up. And then I got an orthopedic appointment day after Christmas. Whole left arm. What was the big dude? That was big dude. Yeah. Going down. Scroll down. Roll down. Oh, old shoulders. Yeah. I have bone problems too now. Apparently, got an infection or something in my bone marrow or something. and I had to beg my doctor to send me to the specialist for it. I haven't missed anything. Well, Forrest is 50 years ago. He's on the jungle floor, probably looking for hide, figuring out where he's going to hide or how he can get on top of the karst. But apparently it was 1,000-foot karst that he was up. Oh, wow. That's just weird stuff on my computer I look at. I got to show you that one, too. My arm's all cramped probably from holding the phone. Look at that head right there. That's like a monkey face. There's another guy up here above him. So, yeah, I got this old Verizon tablet. You play it, and it doesn't do anything anymore. It won't turn on. It won't tell you that it's charging, nothing. Monkey or panther? Yeah. A lot of things are multiple, there's probably elephants on its cheeks and stuff like that. You know, there is an elephant on his cheek. Yeah. And, it's just amazing stuff. And it's like, nobody's seen this before. Come on. A lot of the locals you see, I talk to, they know that, yeah, there's something there. Yeah, I think people made this stuff. Yeah, But I've got thousands of, like I have 40-some thousand pictures on my backup drive. And when I got AC, I go through them and I'm copying them from the files that are arranged by month, and the Nikon gives you a file for every 1,000 pictures. So it advances. So your first one is 100, and then I'm up to 140 for file number. But each file has 1,000 pictures in them. So I've got over 40,000 pictures, and I'm taking the better ones and copying them over. But I'm finding a whole lot of stuff that that's why I just take picture after picture in the summer, and then in the winter I can process those pictures and go through them. And so I'll find stuff in my pictures that I took 2 years ago, sometimes during the winter, and go that I've never seen something amazing, and pull it up, and you see a lot of dark holes. It's, I need to look in there, see if the treasure's in there. Or you get there and you find out that dark hole is too small to fit the treasure in. And one place you don't want to be looking that he wouldn't have put it is I don't think he'd put it someplace where highway maintenance or something would be like an area where rocks can fall on a road. That's unlikely, because if they have a rock slide, the highway department sends guys up there called scalers, and they knock all the loose rocks off the side off the cliff, so they won't fall on the cars. And so those type of areas where there might be, that type of highway maintenance even would be something that one of them scalers could stumble upon. And so if it's within maintenance distance of a road, you got to kind of rule that out. Even rest areas, a couple of rest areas, they took the bathrooms out. Boom, no more bathrooms. So what happens? People still got to go to the bathroom. They pull off the side of the road, they poop in the forest and leave their paper there, because the state's too lazy to send a janitor there to clean them once a week or twice, go by once a day, or they're so few and far between. It's like, now we only got one public bathroom on the highway left. So that's an hour and 14 minutes Forrest had been on the ground nearly almost an hour from being shot down, and that's the southern hemisphere, I think. So, and it's summer all year pretty much in Vietnam. Go a little further south to be affected much by winter, and it was summer in the southern hemisphere at this time too when he was shot down. So I'm ending it because I got to fix me some dinner. My stomach's getting hungry. I'm trying to figure out what the noise. Oh, the noise is my wind generator on the roof. I got a heater going, a generator outside running, and the wind generator starting to. It goes clunk clunk when it turns. Oh, good luck with the specialist. I haven't got I got my orthopedic appointment and the gastro appointment, but I ain't got my specialist appointment yet. I guess she's not in until New Year's. I asked them if they could get me an appointment in 2020. You know, you got a health issue. Can you delay it as long as you can? You know. Thanks. Hey, Thunder. Thunder, I'm a rock star. Hey, hey, David, you ever see the Black Honkies? I got a Black Honkies video on my channel. You know that? They're one of your local bands. Seen them in Sarasota. Biker Build Off. Go see my Black Honkies video. Yeah. Look up Black Honkies with my name. It'll come up because it's on my channel. I got some 3D video of them too. Might even be, no, I couldn't get the 3D to load because I upgraded to a 64-bit computer, and the program that you upload the videos on is a 32-bit app. I get this little stone, and there's like a guy juggling stars on there. You see him? You see the guy there, and he's juggling these stars. That's what I mean. It's like, you know, yeah, it's sculpted. He's a star juggler. You don't know if this was jewelry for some caveman. You know? I'm just a wizard, and I decided that would be there. If you put it in a different light, you'll see different things too. That's, you know. Yeah. Yeah, the Black Honkies, they're like a 12-piece band. They did nice Star Spangled Banner and all that, you know, that kind of band. On the ground were all the kings and jokers. Forrest Fenn's the Joker. It's a treasure hunt to find this like fantasy island out here. There's he knows that there's people that can see that stuff. Can we Captain Picard? Yeah, Captain Picard. the next generation. Tried to find me. Yeah, somebody said, "Yeah, I seen where you went." It's like, "Oh, you drive a semi?" The guy about took my mirror off. This is when you pull off it. There's snow, and so there ain't as much parking room. You know, you might be parked closer to that. That's the other reason you don't want to go look in the winter. The pull offs and the parking are all close. But I went up there, and the road up to the campground I was at, you can still drive to Anubis. When they close the gate, then it's about a quarter-mile walk to get to Anubis. But they haven't closed the gate yet, and tomorrow is going to be 49. It was 41 today. That's why I put off going search today. I'm going to go up there and look tomorrow. And I got some silver to pick up. Because the Federal Reserve is going to go down the toilet, down to the home of Brown. And you got to have some silver, gold, whatever, laying around when that happens. Wow. Yeah, that's about it. You know, get the other guys, Sean, do a video about, 50th anniversary. Forrest was shot down 50 years ago. Right now, he's on the ground. He hadn't been rescued yet. 50 years ago, he's on the ground. He's an MIA. He was an MIA at this time 50 years ago. Exactly. Out there in the dark, in the jungle. Yeah, I got some cool ones. I got the Moby Dick coins. I can show you Moby Dick. Where is it? There we go. I'm gonna show you Moby Dick. I'm gonna leave him in there. Yeah, there's Moby Dick. He's on a what's it say on there? Oh. No pray, no pay. Yeah. I have one with the other side to the. Let's see. There it is. Yeah. See, there's with the whole scene, the ship and the whale. I don't have gloves on, so I'm not going to pull them out and touch them. And I got this 1887 Morgan. It's in pretty good shape. That thing, this one, an ounce of silver is like $15, but this one's like 150. And I got all these little mercuries, little 1 gram mercuries. Yeah, a whole bunch. So this is a 31 gram mercuries, is 1 ounce. So it's an ounce in 1 gram coins. And I got the little Indian gold. It's a 3 gram Indian gold. 3 grams of gold. So that one's 150 too. Yeah. Yeah, I quit buying from MCM. I had 2 orders and they canceled them. Canceled 2 of my orders without, and then didn't tell me, you know. What is it? What's the, oh, I got refunded? Okay, as long as I got my money back. Yeah, I went and bought went to Burger King, got a Whopper, and my change. I got 1 quarter in my change, and it was a 64 quarter. And I've got that in my. I keep it with my treasure hunting plastic case for coins. I got foam so you can, you know, put the coins in there, and I use that for testing my metal detector. Oh, that's a weird picture. But that's about it. I want to eventually edit a video here, like run the slideshow, but record it with the computer. Well, I think I'll just take the pictures and put them in my editing program, and I can get them to the right length and change all the transitions and have eagles fly across the picture. And but I'll show you this one cool thing here before I go. This guy here. Look at this. See the guy in there? See this guy right here? Oop. Well, I'll do it this way. This guy here is his face, and there's his arm and elbow and his arm coming over here. And is this the tombstone he's holding? Gotta look underneath there, you know? Oh. There's not enough room. Is that a hole? No, nothing in there. But yeah, you see, there's a guy there. There's stuff going on inside. Look at this. There's a woman inside his. There's a guy laying on a table, and a woman nursing him or something. You see her arms and her smile, and there's his face right in the middle. Look at that. And there's a little guy back here too. But you zoom out and it's the guy's face. You see, there's another. It's very complex. Look at oh, look there. You see him? See the people? See, there's a guy there. There's a woman there. Something going across there. There's somebody in there. Looking up, their hand right here. And there's this white-faced guy looking down at him. Wow, look at him. Isn't he cool? See his nose, his mouth, his eyes. That's cool stuff. Okay, we'll play around a little more. See him? See these people over here? See the faces? See this head? There's a guy here. Somebody down here. There's people down here. Look at her. What are you doing down there, huh? What are you doing, Jack? You see these gray figures. There's somebody laying here. Okay, next picture. Okay. Okay, Jack. Okay. See, there they are. Okay. Okay. I gotta let Jack out. Oh, yes, I smelled my generator when I opened the doors. What's that burning? It's still running, Bill. You need to look at with both eyes, folks. Yeah. Jack is going to catch his dinner. No, he just finished off a bowl of food. It's empty. See, this is a neat thing here. I gotta show you this. That might be another father on the. See the knees, the legs coming down here, and the knees. Is his head there? There's other people drawn on him. Look at that guy in his face. He's got an elephant nose, maybe. Your head up there. Yeah. Yeah, ain't that cool? It's just, I can find it everywhere. Here's Isis. This is Isis right here. That's her. Standing there. See, her arms are crossed over her chest, and she has legs, and she's got some triangle over her waist here. That's her. But you see there's other figures in the back and in there, and this guy here. And he's got his spear over his shoulder. And there's these guys up in the back here. Hello, ancient people. I love it. Yep, they're there. They are there. And this is I'll show you my winter solstice thing. The winter solstice observatory thing. And I took a picture of what was inside the hole that it lined up with. And I highlighted it and pasted it onto this picture. But you're looking at, through this, and this is a hand like this, It's a hand like that. It's just like that. And the sun comes through and it shines into that other hole at solstice. And there's a little guy in there waving, So, I'm still hungry. Look at these people. And you see the elephant trunk girl in here? There's people standing all around here. Yeah. It's almost like a picture of the eyes and the nose. The mouth is eroded away. There's, Eh? Jack scratching at the door. It's every 2 minutes. He's demanding too. You have to do what he says. Yeah, I'll show you one more neat thing. One more neat thing here. And remember, these are the people from Atlantis, Hello? I mean, that shouldn't just make Forrest say this is a special place. This should make anybody think it's a special place. Look at them. Look at that king and queen, like, and what there's people, dark figures in between them, and there are people in the corners and people on the little rocks, and there's little figures on top of people's heads, and you know, there's two people with their arms, one hugging onto the backside of the other one. Right? What could they possibly doing? That dark faced figure there. There's a guy up here. See the guy up there in the corner? Woo-hoo! Wow, man. So there's my mammoth. You see, this is the legs of the mammoth sticking up. This is his belly, his back. He's leaning. This is his back legs coming down the hill. And this is the head of the mammoth and his trunk going up here. That's the head of the mammoth. And then these people are holding. That's the trunk coming around. But that's a mammoth there, laying on its back. You see the overall face. There's the mouth, and there's the eyes. And then there's people on its head. These are... This guy here, there's his eyes, his nose. Look at this guy's teeth. Look at that face, hey? You know? I mean, I ain't got time to record all this stuff. It'll take a team of archaeologists hundreds of years to record it all. Oh, what are they doing? Look at that. Is he flipping the bird? Is that a blaze? Are those double blazes? Okay. So I'm going to let Jack in and eat dinner and let you guys go watch somebody else. Somebody else go live and talk about, hey, you know, okay, we got 2 days here. That I mean, between now and Saturday morning, you know, so he was rescued on the 22nd. So between now and the 22nd, say how Forrest Fenn's changed your life, and what would your life be like without Forrest Fenn? You know, that's a simple thing for the video people. A special day for Forrest, 50th anniversary of being shot down and ejecting from his plane at 5:55 p.m. That's it. Good night. Thanks for watching.